this is another, Martian winter that I think is getting ready to reaccelerate to the upside shortly.
Yeah, very very under the radar. Nobody's talking about this name for sure. But they might soon be if this thing starts taking out new highs.
I originally bought it because I was worried about China going into Taiwan, so I had it as my Silicon Motion hedge. It's the one stock that if
Yeah,
China takes Taiwan, I would think would double in about 3 days. So
Yeah,
I think China is taking notes on Iran right now and maybe reconsidering that, but we'll see.
yeah.
hopefully,
The next one I have, and my title for this is Facebook to Faceplant. I know they changed the name to Meta, but this to me, especially on the monthly, I mean that's a head and shoulders top right there. Left shoulder. I can't draw a curved line, so I can't do the shoulder. Here's the head,
yeah, right
and
shoulder. Yep.
and here's the right shoulder, and that's about as That's Edwards and McGee stuff. That's like a textbook that I read when I started getting into technical analysis and needed a life and a hobby. But the relative strength has deteriorated significantly, and I'm going to tie this into a few things. The we had this gap up on the earnings report that looked encouraging. I mean, that was a pretty impressive report. Apparently, up 11% doesn't dazzle me for a 20 PE stock. That's just me. But you see it close this gap, which tends to happen. You tend to close gaps. Then you close it to the downside here 3 trading days later. And, that just looks problematic to me. Um,
Yeah.
the We're already below the 200-day moving average right here. The 200-day is just starting. If you have to squint, but trust me, the 200-day moving average is turning down again, and nothing good happens below the 200-day. It's kind of like a nightclub at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I think that's what's going to happen here. And then you've got two levels to confirm what's going on here. 600. If that goes, you've got some problem. I suspect the down volume is going to pick up like it did back here on this first gap, and then 581.25. So this is a pretty big Mag 7 name. It is a big S&P name, and it's acting really, really badly. And so I wouldn't touch Meta. Here's my thought is, will they then act like they did when their move into the metaverse was greeted with Bronx cheers? Do they bring their capex substantially down to improve the stock price performance and scare the hell out of everybody that the AI capex investment is starting to wane? And that seems more and more likely given what I just described in this chart here.
Yeah, that looks like a good short candidate to me, Bakes. Not only would you not own it, but you might think about selling rips, or at
Yeah,
least
I
buying
didn't. I
some,
didn't look at. I didn't look at the short
buying
interest, but I
some
guess my suspicion is it's
Intel.
not that high.
Yeah,
And then with the thing with shorts is, you don't have to. It isn't an all or nothing decision. You can press the short at 600, and then you can press the short at 581
right.
you're right, quote unquote. But
Yeah,
this
when it's
this monthly is really what kind of turned it for me. I always look at all the time frames. I mean, that's taken on water. And frankly,
yep,
you look at the SPY and the Qs, which I know you do. They kind of look similar. They
yep,
have they have a February 9th low and sorry, a March 9th low, and then we're threatening to take out. And I always look to see the whites of their eyes. I don't try to anticipate, but I'm watching these levels where they take out the March 9th low, the 200-day, and then the November of last year low, and you've got some problems. You've got some problems. I'm not convinced it's going to happen yet because we could declare victory in Iran and all bets are off. But right now, I think there's trouble in technology paradise.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean Trump pushing this G meeting back was a big signal for me as well that this war is not ending anytime in the immediate future here. He I think he's buying some more time to cut some grand deal with Xi when he's there, but it's too early to do it with everything that's going on globally.
Well, he's basically taken. I think this is the number, roughly 25% of their oil, and put it under U.S. influence. And so, if she wants to play, hardball, he says, well, Venezuela and China, they're ours now, and you're not getting
Right.
any oil anytime soon. And yes, they've got a stockpile, but uh, they're rapidly going through that. So I think the chessboard has changed pretty dramatically. And listen, I'm not Ian Bremmer, and I don't study this all the time, but that's a pretty logical sequence of events, in my opinion.
Yep. All right, gentlemen, you want to wrap it up there?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Okay.
All right. Happy Tuesday. Follow us on wallstreetbeats.com, and we will see you back here tomorrow.